Well, hello, and welcome to the last round of the High Elves pre-elimination part of the Grand Tournament in the Old World. Jeff here looks like he's about to sneeze, but I think we're all a go-go on this particular finale. What a finale we have as well, as Eltharion the Grim takes on the Lord of the High Elves, Tyrion himself. Eltharion is bringing quite a large force going from his right flank there on the left side here for us on this view of the screen. His unit of Eltharion Reavers. Very fast-moving cavalry we've seen. They've had a bit of a mixed result throughout this part of the tournament. A couple of units of spearmen, just a nice, solid all-rounder. Pretty good for the High Elves, reliable unit. His actual front line is Eltharion himself, who's a tough melee combatant. He's backed up by some archers with light armor. Behind that is a White Lions, another pretty hard-hitting axe infantry. Next to them is a War Lions, which I'm sure must be a bit worried about all the dead lions, you know, around the War Lions' shoulders. I don't quite know how this works out. They must have some kind of working agreement. He also has a rather powerful Flame Spire Phoenix. And then rounding out his entire force is a unit of Silver Helms, who, as we saw in the previous round with McCracken, those Silver Helms were pretty effective. Now, no artillery, which is unusual. They've been a common feature throughout this entire tour, but there are no artillery units in this battle at all. In fact, Tyrion's forces are also bringing a Flamespire Phoenix, backed by his front line of a White Lions unit, Shadow Warriors, and Spearmen. Tyrion himself, who also is on foot this time rather than being on horseback, with another White Lions behind them, a Handmaiden of the Everqueen, a unit of Spearmen, and a War Lions of Trace. So both forces relatively similar in composition, relatively similar in size. And we're going to see how this plays out. Now, Eltharion, I always do a roll beforehand to determine attackers and defenders. And in this case, Eltharion rolled the attackers, so that's why Tyrion's forces are staying reet put. They're not going to move anywhere because they're going to wait for him to get close before anything happens. A spell of some kind has been thrown out there at the Flamespire. Oof, nasty damage. As the skirmishing begins, as his unit of Shadow Warriors from Tyrion here start loosing arrows into the flanking maneuver being put forward here by Eltharion. Looks like they're trying to get a wide charge here. Not a bad choice, considering the Silver Helms are a good shock cavalry unit. They can crash in very quickly, do a lot of damage and get out of there before going in for another attack. It's also been backed up by the Flamespire from Eltharion. Now, looking at the centre, we've got the Eltharion Reavers, but they've been countered by his own, by Tyrion's Phoenix. A spell's been cast, and that is a lot of dead spearmen on Tyrion's side. An unintended side effect, I'm not sure here, but his own spearmen just got hit, and his archers by that same spell. That spell is a bit deadly for the friendly fire effect. Not actually sure how good a choice it is. Now, the front line is starting to form. Here we go, as infantry clash in the middle. This is looking like a more traditional battle. We do have a unit already fleeing on the back end here of the field. Yep, it's Eltharion's War Lions already fleeing. They've suffered quite a few casualties there, only got 14 left. Tyrion's being a bit distracted. He's chasing the squirrel. He's going after the Silver Helms. He's not on horseback, so he's going to have trouble catching up to that enemy. And he's also giving up a White Lions unit in pursuit of some cavalry. I'm not sure how good an idea this is. Now, Tyrion does have his Handmaiden, who is a pretty effective ranged unit. And since her bolts that she fires are magical, they actually have an explosive effect. So even if she doesn't necessarily hit the unit dead on, she's still doing a little bit of AoE damage with each shot. Now, Eltharion's had to charge in the Silver Helms briefly. I'm not sure if that was a good idea. That's going to slow up those cavalry, and they're going to get drawn into the melee. Now, the middle is just... This is just an absolute brutality fest going on here. We've got War Lions, we've got White Lions, we've got Spearmen, all mixed in on the front line. We know Eltharion's right in the middle there. He's going to be causing a lot of damage. He's going to be one of the key elements here to allowing his troops to break through, as Eltharion is a pretty effective infantryman, dual wielding spear and a sword. It's always weird seeing the bird units, the eagles and stuff, just trotting along on their little feet. Now this is interesting. So the archers in light armor have been attacked by Tyrion's Phoenix, which is definitely disrupted his ability to rain down some damage. And we have a Phoenix on Phoenix fight. It's hard to tell which one is which when you're zoomed in, to be honest, but if it was just down to pure hit points here, the Eltharion Phoenix is definitely going to win in a one-on-one fight between the Tyrion one. I don't think either of them have any ranks that make them better against one another. Now, Eltharion's force is starting to crumble here. Tyrion Spearmen, they've taken a lot of casualties. Granted, it looks like Eltharion has run off. Where has he gone? Oh, he's gone into the middle. Oh, and this is the big fight, I think. This is the one we've all been waiting for. As we've got Tyrion going up against Eltharion. Unfortunately, this isn't a fair fight, I will say. Eltharion is being attacked by a unit of spearmen and Tyrion at the same time. He's going to be taking a lot of extra damage. He's using some kind of ability there. Definitely buffed himself for a second, but look at the hit point drops on Eltharion. It's insane. And quite rightly, he's temporarily routing. He's getting out of there. He's being chased by the spearmen, so they could be doing little bits of chip damage to him as they go. The White Lions charging back in after they rallied. They're attacking the War Lions, but the War Lions are like, nah, you killed too many of our young and you're wearing them as cloaks. We've had enough of this. And looks like they're just gonna, yeah, kick the crap out of Eltharion's White Lions there. His final, the last units that Eltharion has that actually had any kind of strength to it is starting to break, understandably. There's just way too many units around them. I'm only going to hand this one at the moment. I think this one's definitely looking like it's going to go to Tyrion. I can't really... Yeah, I wouldn't really call this otherwise. Eltharion has... he's readied. He has rallied a little bit, but I'm not sure how much that's going to be worth. I mean, I'd certainly put him as a winner in a fight here between him and the Spearman unit. That's for sure. He certainly hasn't got the pep in his step he once had. He's just using his spear as a walking stick just to keep himself upright. Obviously, he's going to looks like he's buffing himself. Yep, Hand of Glory. Give himself a little bit of a melee skill there. And a reload. It's an interesting choice there. The melee attack is definitely welcome. It's going to cause quite a few casualties with us. This is really the only part of the fight that's left. Granted, you do have the Phoenixes fighting, but yeah, I mean the main thing here is just to see how long Eltharion lasts. And he's taking a lot of damage again, and he's breaking. Whether he is. He might actually get dropped here, because he's taking a lot of damage. He doesn't have a lot of hit points left. We're not sure exactly how many hit points he's got, but it can't be a lot, especially with that Handmaiden firing at him as well. If she gets a good hit, she could outright drop him. But it doesn't look like the Shadow Warriors are going to get him, but we'll have to see. Now, the two Phoenixes actually have equal kind of hit points, but that may be because of the Handmaiden. She's almost out of ammo, she's fired so much. As she gets kicked by the Phoenix across the field. Oh, you can see a magical arrow stuck in its head. Now, no, Eltharion is still running around. It's academic at this point. It's already done. We're really just waiting for Jeff to call it, to be honest, which I think he's about to do. I think this is it. Congratulations to Tyrion. He goes through to the Grand Tournament of the Old World, and what a run Tyrion has had. He's had some fantastic victories, but if we have a look at the score breakdown here at the end. So both sides, relatively similar size force, 576 to 547, so Eltharion was bringing a few more infantry. But he did lose 486. He has 90 troops remaining compared to Tyrion's 245 losses for 302. Eltharion's force, Eltharion himself, he did the work, 94. Both his spearmen, 19 and 20 kills each. His White Lions, 39. His archers did 25. Illyrian Reavers, 0 kills. That's bad. That is very bad. Considering they did 1,600 damage, but they achieved 0 casualties for Eltharion's force. Silverhelms, 24. They did less than the archers. His War Lions didn't last very long to do much. And even the Flamespire Phoenix, not a lot. But then you compare it to Tyrion's force, he got 48, which is less than half of what Eltharion did. And the Handmaiden did do a lot of kills, but certainly did a lot of damage. Now, granted, Tyrion had a unit of spearmen that only did 7 casualties in total, which means they were probably one of the units that were chasing around the squirrel for a bit. But spearmen 29, white lions 43, but the other white lions unit had 79 kills. Shadow Warriors 54. War Lions to Trace 111. Now that's the unit of the match there. 111 kills. That's up there with the Dragon Princes from one of the previous rounds. And his Flame Spire Phoenix did 36 kills compared to 11. So big difference there between the two. Two, as I said, relatively similar sized and similar composition forces. Would have been interesting to see what it would have been like if the 2 cavalry units hadn't been there. Whether if they had just been infantry, it may have been a different story, don't know. But yeah, that's Tyrion gone through. Eltharion, very good runner-up, so to speak. And some good fights overall. So next time we'll be moving over to... Oh god, I can't actually remember what it actually means. Should we have a sneak peek? Let's have a look what the next ones are. For I draw that up. Let's just pull back the veil here. So it would be Lizard Men next. So we've got a whole bunch of Lizard Men faction leaders to go through. So that'll be interesting to see. But until then, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you all next time. Have a good one, and yeah, thanks for watching again. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.